Want to save money on your heating bills? Want to feel warmer and more comfortable in your home during the cold winter months? Do you want to build something yourself to make those two things happen, accompanied by friends and neighbors in a 21st century version of a barn raising? If so, the Windowdressers project may be for you. Windowdressers is the name of a nonprofit organization based in Maine that has developed a way to create insulating window inserts, measured precisely to the dimensions of your home's windows, to keep the heat and warmth inside your house during the winter instead of it escaping outside. Coming up in November, 2 community builds will be held, one in Bennington and one in Arlington, where such window inserts will be fabricated for installation in homes around Bennington County. But the time to act is now, or relatively soon, so your windows can be measured, supplies ordered, and everything put in place for the community build-outs planned for early November. Jim Salzgever of Dorset is heading up the window dresser effort in Bennington County.
Well, there are a couple of neat things about this. One is that this is actually a project of energy committees from all over Bennington County. And this is one of the first chances that we've had to pull together a whole group of energy committees to act as one. We've actually broken it down into a Southshire group and a Northshire group, but it's one big project that we're working on together. And it's really that's testament to window dressers as a program. It really is. All of us as energy committees have been trying to figure out how to help our residents and how to be useful and reduce energy usage and all. And window dressers is such a neat project in that instead of when we try to get people interested in making energy improvements on their homes, one of the frequent things that people say is they think about new windows. And the honest truth is, replacing windows in your home is extremely expensive, and you do get an improvement, but it's sort of marginal improvement. But it points to the fact that people are cognizant that their windows can be drafty and all that. And window dressers, it's creating inserts that fit into your window to essentially be like an internal storm window that really cuts down on all of that, the draftiness and the energy lost through the windows at a very reasonable cost.
In Arlington, Stephanie Moffett-Hines of the Arlington Energy Committee and Jeff Dexter of the Sunderland Energy Committee are spearheading the Northshire build, which will take place at the Arlington Common, the site of the former Arlington Catholic Church, on November 11th through the 15th.
He said it's insulating. They fit snugly. They're measured precisely to your windows, and they're very affordable. This obviously is a model, but they have small, medium, and large. The small go for about $30. They can be naked pine or painted. Painted's a little bit more, painted white. They go, as I said, from $30 to $70, which is an amazing price when you consider the for-profit industry that makes window inserts can be 3-4 times that amount.
Well, what they say is that so for the average home, and it depends on the efficiency of your home and how big it is and all of that, but the average home, each insert saves $27 per insert per year. So if you have a $40 insert, obviously you're going to make that back very quickly. So you're saving money on your fuel bills. That's the bottom line. Cozy your house, saving money, and you're also lowering your carbon footprint, which is a huge thing that we must do everywhere, of course. But in Vermont, that's one of our biggest energy inefficiencies is thermal heating. That and transportation. So this is one of those things that we can all do, and anybody's welcome to participate. And we should talk a bit about what that means.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it will start with people signing up and then getting measured. As you can imagine, when these go into your window, the fit is extremely important, that they fit snugly, and then you're able to take them out in the summer months and store them hopefully indoors. But as I said, it starts with the measuring, which will be starting next month, where volunteers will go to your house, measure as many windows as you'd like us to do, and then the kits are put together up in Maine with the pine inserts, and they are sent down here where we will do a community build, almost like an old New England barn raising activity, where most of the people that are getting the windows will come and get a very little bit of training because it's very easy to do.
We did this. Jeff and I both went to Bristol a couple of years ago to a Bristol community build, and it was so fun.
Yeah.
And so I'm interrupting you, but it really that's like one of my favorite things about it. And it's it's a potluck too. So people bring their covered dish, and it's just a great way for community members to get together and a lot of people are meeting each other for the first time. It's a nice mix.
Carol Farley of the Arlington Common said that they were looking forward to hosting the Windowdressers event in November as one of their first events once their new center is open.
And we are just starting to be up and running, and we're very excited to be hosting the Windowdressers for one of our first events. It really connects into our mission, which is community, wellness, and creativity. And not only are we looking forward to hosting them, but we're also looking forward to working with them to renovate and insulate our windows for the Watkins house.
Meanwhile, down in Bennington, Bruce Lehrman is heading up the effort in the South Shire, where they'll be constructing the window inserts from November 4th to the 9th.
Yes, we have a building here called the Bennington Maker Space, Bennington Area Makers. And it's an old auto garage on Main Street, and it's used for lots of community building projects, whether it's after-school projects for kids or not. But it's a big enough area that we'll be setting up tables in there that allow us to make a big assembly line for the window inserts. It's a really nice product. As I say, I used to get something like this 10, 15 years ago from a company over in Hoosick Falls. But the quality of these is much superior because they've got the whole process down to this assembly line structure. So volunteers, the same people who are getting the windows, come in, and you come in for 2 hours, help work on one of the steps in the process. We show you how to do it. We give you all the tools. We give you everything you need. We even feed you if you're there over one of the lunch breaks. So for a couple of hours of effort working with other people in your community, you get your inserts at a very reduced price. So that's really kind of the story of the whole thing. Then people come to our facility, pick them up, take them home, and like I say, anybody can just push them into the window opening and seal off the window.
Training for how to make the inserts will be held in August. Windowdressers has an interesting history that goes back to 2010, when a church in Maine found a way to keep their sanctuary warm during the winter and save money on heating bills and reduce carbon emissions. Laura Seaton, the executive director of Windowdressers, told us about that and what's underway now during a recent conversation.
Since Windowdressers got its start in 2010, we've now grown to more than 45 community builds across 2 states, Maine and Vermont.
So do a lot of the people who decide they want to get one of the inserts and are willing to give their time to help, I mean, I'm assuming probably a lot of them aren't really coming from like a carpentry background or some kind of a familiarity with how this all works. So it's probably a case of learning something brand new right on the fly, more or less, I guess.
One of the wonderful things about Windowdressers is you really don't need to have any building experience at all to be able to participate in our community builds. We have a lot of our volunteers have never picked up a drill or a hammer in their lives. And the way we do it at Windowdressers is we set up like a little assembly line. So each volunteer only needs to learn one step in the process. So one volunteer might be running the white tape around the perimeter of the frame, and that's the only step they need to learn. And then another volunteer might be applying the plastic, stretching the plastic over the frame with a partner across the table. And another volunteer will be running the frame with the plastic under a glorified hairdryer called a heat gun in order to shrink wrap the plastic so we get a nice tight fit. And then another volunteer will be applying the foam to the outside of the frame. And that's the part that gives it a little bit of squish so that it can fit right into your window without any need for any fasteners. It's just held in place by the friction of the foam, which compresses. So we've really set up this great system. We provide all of the tools and all of the supplies and all of the training. And people who want window inserts, they obviously have to order them ahead of time because they're custom built to the exact measurements of their window, and we need to measure their windows ahead. But when it's time for the build, they just come as they are. They don't need any experience or training or tools. We provide it all.
It's not too early to start signing up for the training or for one of the tasks involved in the window dresser process. Go to windowdressers.org and visit the Community Build page and scroll down to the section on the Vermont builds. There are several roles to be filled. For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.